Hello, welcome to the CRL Show. I'm Paul Arandale.
I'm Geoff Stevenson.
Yep, another week, another CRL Show. Plenty of footy happened. Not much Queensland footy happened last week, although Sunny Coast, they went ahead. But they're back on deck this week. Heaps of footy. Just a reminder, thanks for watching. If you're watching this on the BarTV Sports website or the YouTube channel, and now you can listen to us on Spotify or Apple. If you don't want to watch, you can always listen while you're driving or whatever. So welcome wherever you're watching or listening to.
You have to do without our faces on the when you're listening, but that could be a good thing, like I've said before. But you can do it when you're, I don't know, vacuuming or doing the laundry or running. Do people do that still? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. They do. Yeah. Did you get out anywhere on the weekend?
Yeah, I went down to Illawarra. Actually, we've talked about it in the past. Our Illawarra is a smaller comp, but smaller comp doesn't mean not as thrilling and close and engaging. So I went down and watched West play Dapto. Went to home of West to watch Dapto travel there. And Dapto, the Canaries are like on a bit of a run at the moment. Like they upset West, and it was a cracker of a game.
Yeah.
There's a couple of upsets down there this week, and I think West have now lost 3 in a row. Does that sound pretty right? Could be something like that. I think they're still leading the comp, so it's
a very tight competition with Corrimal creating a few upsets, created a bit of interest. But you're right. There's smaller comps doesn't mean that they're crap or whatever. I mean, Group 21 is 6 teams, and I think that's a very entertaining group up there, up the valley.
It sometimes means that, like the upshot is there's 5 out of the 6 teams are still in the running for the finals kind of thing, whereas you can have other competitions where there's, 12 teams and 6 of them are out of the comp out of contention in the first kind of like, I don't know, 2 months or whatever. So, but it's not happening that way down in Illawarra. I think there's almost every team's got a chance of getting in there in the finals and win the comp.
Yeah, good stuff. Sunday I caught a bit of Group 9, the Challenge Cup game between Albury and Young in the comfort of the room next to this. Close one, actually. It's one of our moments that's popping up, so I won't talk too much about it. We'll bring it in our moments, but the weather is starting to look pretty cold down that way.
Yes, I remember the first real, I haven't been there for a long time, but when I looked at Yass in the middle of winter a few years ago, I was like, oh my God, because you can see the cold. It feels like it's coming out of the screen at you. So good on those fans, because I remember years ago, actually, there was fog, and I still actually found the old episode the other day, fog covering the ground at Yass, and then when the fog cleared, there was about 3 or 4 supporters sitting there waiting. Like, we've been sitting here looking at fog for the past hour, waiting for this game to start. I thought, geez, I would have been home after a minute. I wouldn't have got there. And I love my footy, so good on those Yass supporters and those supporters down Riverina. Oh, it's freezing cold there. George Cook,
that's Canberra, isn't it?
Yeah, dandy. Fair. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, I've got some moments. I was going to do the bad moment first, but we might leave that. We may as well talk about the good moments that happened. And they're both down south. The first one is the last-minute winner for Young Cherry Pickers. Now, they're down by 6 at this stage. They score the try. There's under 10 minutes remaining at this stage. They score, they convert to lock it up at 24 or 22 all, I think it was, and then Rob Roberts, our favourite on BarTV Sports, slots the field goal. He did that on numerous occasions back in the day, playing for West Belconnen and later Gungahlin Bulls. And now he's doing the same stuff at Young. Another last-minute winner was West Tigers' Jersey Flegg here. They score here to level things.
It's a good finish.
And then they got these kicks. They're not on the sideline, not in front, but nails it in the celebration at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see them coming. Oh, don't hurt me. There's like 10 players running at you. But yeah, that kick, I was watching it going, it's fading away, but we just got there, so that's fantastic. Yeah,
so there are some good moments on the weekend now. Mix it up now, we have a good moment, a bad moment. We've found a bad moment. Unfortunately, we go to the Northern Rivers. This is a bit of a bee in the bonnet for me, is jerseys. You're playing the same comp. Surely there has to be some ruling with clubs like, they're black and white, you've got to be white and black or whatever. Yeah. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, these two clubs missed the memo because they're almost identical jerseys, lower Clarence Magpies and Tweed Head Seagulls. And the problem is obviously just the spectators, but also the referee.
Yeah,
and touchies here. It's a hard enough job as it is. Was that high shot from Lower Clarence, or was it Tweed Heads?
Yeah, I was thinking that the poor referees are just sitting there watching a sea of maroon and white, really, and like wondering what am I looking at here? And if there was a drop ball, is it knocked back? That's where you get confused. You're like, is that a knock on or knock back? I can't remember which player actually touched it, sort of thing.
And I mean, like the manufacturing of the jerseys these days are reasonably priced. So I think there's no excuse that teams can't have an away jersey or some type of alternate strip for when they're playing teams with similar colours.
Yeah, if push came to shove with that game there, even if it's just this one-off game, there's things like Indigenous jerseys and stuff that I don't think anyone would mind if they got out again later in the season when it's not Indigenous round or, that kind of stuff. I know in other sports, not in basketball, like they actually have it. I don't know if it's possible in rugby league, but it's a great idea where you reverse the jersey and there's an away strip.
Yeah.
Which might not ever, you might use it twice.
Well, I say, like they get jerseys done for Ladies' Day, Indigenous Days and charities. They either use one of those or get an alternate jersey. It's not hard. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, really, if that's the only thing you've got to complain about, then things are going pretty good.
You can sort of see what probably happened. They've rocked up and it's probably about half an hour before the game they've gone, oh no. Yeah. Like they've probably, like you can see, they probably didn't intend to. we're just running with our strip, stuff them. They've probably gone, we're going to have to just play on here. So anyway, everyone might learn from it. But it
happens a lot in a lot of comps. I remember a few years back, Waratah, Mayfield and Dungog, maroon, gold V. So,
what are you going to do? And there's the smaller community comps, but you're right. Like even the little community teams often have some other strip. It might be an Indigenous round strip and stuff like that. I think with those things, they might be like, oh no, we can only wear those on that round. But I don't think anyone's going to complain if they say, look, we've got a clash of colours. We're going to whack our Ladies' Day strip on again, or whatever it is that we've got sitting there that may only get one wear a year, kind of thing. So even another team strip. That'd be odd, but anyway.
Anyway, something to think about. Administrators out there, officials, just think for 2026, you can get alternate strips for when these teams play each other. That'll be fantastic.
Or just commit to, let's go the other way and just everyone wears exactly the same. And that just throws a real spanner in the works for the game. They make a very interesting game. Like AFL or something. Everyone's running around going, where is everybody? Where are you? Anyway.
All right, Well, AFL has white shorts and dark shorts.
Yeah.
So they do have something. But anyway, we'll move on. We've said enough. We're harping on it.
Yeah.
We're sounding like other negative shows.
We sound like old white men talking on.
All right, let's get into some results on the weekend. It was round 11 and Triple RL. Morris Brothers had a good win over Evans Head, 38-16. Tweed Coast making a bit of a run, 42-32 over Northern United. Ballon in a close one over Mullumbimby, 14-12. Murwillumbah over Casino, 28-22. Coogin, 18-14 over Balambal. Kyogle, 32-14 over Byron Bay. And the game that we just saw, Tweed Heads, 34-10 over Lower Clarence.
We think. The Coogin Balambal game, that was a top of the table clash. Yeah. It was a cracker of a game. Down to Illawarra, round 10. Another almost upset field kind of weekend. Like I said, the Dapto Canaries defeated West 24 points to 14. Thirroul defeated Collies 38-24. So there's another one, Collies going down. But De La Salle sort of kept with the usual form and defeated Corrimal 54 points to 20.
Canberra, round 12, the feature match was Tuggeranong and Woden Valley, bit of a southern derby as they call it. The Bushrangers 30-26 over the Rams. Queanbeyan Blues, big winners over Belconnen 46-4. Queanbeyan Kangaroos 56-4 over Yass, and Gungahl and Bulls 22-10 over Goulburn City.
Right, and off to Newcastle, round 12. Some great games on the weekend. Cessnock defeated West 28 points to 20. The big upset. Curry defeated South 16 points to 12. The Bulldogs are back. Maitland defeated Northern 38 points to 4. Really close clash here. The Entrance defeated Macquarie 36-32, and Central beat Lakes 30 points to 12. And Wyong had the bye, so they probably enjoyed the bye.
Group 7, round 12. Stingrays 22-10 over Berry. Albion Park 28-14 over Milton Ulladulla. Nowra 28-16 over Jamboree. And Shell Harbour 14-6 over Kiama. That was a real semi-final field type of game.
Okay. You can see that happening in a couple of months' time. Group 9, we've covered a bit already. Round 11, the Kangaroos went down to Gundagai, 22 points to 10. Junee, 68-0 against Brothers. Tumut defeated Cootamundra, 28 points to 8. Young, like we saw there, defeated Albury 23-22. Albury retaining the Challenge Cup. And Temora, 26-10 against South City.
All right, moving to the knock-on effect cup. Round 18, Penrith 30-26 over Souths, Western Suburbs 22-18 over Canberra, Newcastle 26-18 over Canterbury, Newtown 36-22 over Norths, and Dragons 30-22 over Manly, and the Sydney Roosters 38-18 over the Parramatta Eels.
Beautiful. Jersey Flag, round 18, and Penrith defeated Souths 46-18. The Warriors 40 points to 18 against Silktails in a cracker of a game. Newcastle 30 all against Canterbury. Melbourne defeated Cronulla 34 points to 6. Another draw, 36 all draw of Manly and the Dragons. 40 points to 14. Parramatta defeated Sydney, and 26-24 the Tigers beat Canberra.
Yep, some very close results in that Jersey Flag over the weekend.
Yeah.
Where we go on Harvey Norman Premiership round 1 kicked off the women's competition with Thursday night, Cronulla 26-18 over Parramatta. The Eels really stuck it to the Sharks. Newcastle 20-14 over Canterbury. The Mounties 30-16 over St George. Illawarra 32-14 over West Tigers. Penrith 22-14 over Central Coast. And then Monday night football, Souths 22-20 over Wentworthville.
Yeah, great footy there. Now, Ron Massey Cup, just a couple of games, round 14. Wentworthville defeated St Mary's 38-16, and Glebe drew with Mounties 26 all.
And finally, Sunny Coast, round 12. Nambour and Kawana had a tight one, 18-16 to the Crushers. Stanley River 20-14 over Caloundra. Beerwa 56-16 over Caboolture, and Maroochydore 24-14 over Noosa.
Yeah, so it's great to watch that Harvey Norman Premiership, because there's talk about in the top levels of women's rugby league whether they can keep expanding, because I think a lot of NRL teams really want a women's team, and then people say, oh, is there enough talent around? Is there enough players around? You look at that Harvey Norman Premiership, that's high quality comp. There's a lot of teams in there, a lot of players playing footy in the next level down.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty. If you're sort of half decent and got a lot of years in front of you, you're a big chance of playing NRLW.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, speaking of big chances, there was plenty of big tries on the weekend, plenty of close ones, but we've picked out 5 we thought were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
As we always say, if you've seen better, let us know through the comments on our social media channels, or send us an email at contact@BarTV Sports. We'd love to see them, because we can't get through them all. But here are our tries of the week. First up, Alex Lobb, Western Suburbs tackle. Magpies.
Falls will get it on the 40. Going to put it high in the air. He got a little bit of attention. In comes Lobb again. Lobb looks up, takes and scores. Alex Lobb. Nothing on. It was a great set after points.
Hugo Peel, Melbourne Storm.
And still they roll forward. This is a big carry, and now a chance for Murger, who tiptoes down the touchline, kicks it back inside for Peel, who's the only man within QA of it.
Will Patterson, Shell Harbour Sharks.
Last tackle, Braxton Wallace with a end over end bomb. Kilmore's not going to get there in time. Bounces up for Ryan James. Back on the inside. They'll go back to back, the Sharks.
Travis May, Macquarie Scorpions.
Long ball to Walsh. Dummies underneath to Dimmick. Wide to May. May. May's going to score. Travis May went for the long wide ball out there to Dean Morris.
And finally, Cooper Teakata.
Turn it first receiver. Not sure he'll want it. They're going to let the ball talk to this left edge. Medlin throws the dummy and goes for Tiana. Tiana back inside. Still going. Tiana, big body. Can he flick it out the back? Medlin started it. They look inside. Teakata! What about that? Now there's a candidate for the try of the year. How good was that?
All right, 5 pretty good tries there. Which one did you?
Is it Travis May, the last one there? I love how, like, a lot of these tries, there's obviously not much doing when the play the ball occurs, and then there's a bit of individual brilliance, and suddenly it's on kind of thing. It was one of those ones. You could see that the to play the ball, the attack was pretty flat. That second rower just did a bit of weaving and magic and stuff like that, and then it was on. But backing up, I love watching players backing up.
Yeah.
And a lot of the great tries we see are guys just running through going, look, I could get a ball, the bounce might work, or I'll get a flick pass, or one of those crazy like long passes that we've seen. So it's fantastic.
Well, there was one I nearly put in, it was Shell Harbour under 18s, where I think it was a front row, made a break and just threw it over his head and hoped. And his teammate backing up and scored under the post. So.
Or sort of new. I think it's kind of good coaching. Like you can't coach people to back up. You can really encourage them to. And you see some of those games where fantastic tries, you think, geez, the coaches must have said, you guys, if someone makes a break, everyone run at him, kind of thing. So that's fantastic.
All right, moving right along, we'll get into around the groups.
Rightio. There's a little bit going on, mid-season kind of thing. First of all, Kelly Cup, which is the Group 20, Group 9 kind of representative game. It's been around for a long time, but has been on hiatus, usually with blank COVID, but this is 2022 was the last game. There was arguments that the Group 9 rep team is a bit too strong for the Group 20. So they're like, oh, look, it's the last game was in 2022 and it was 52 points to 6, the final result, but they're going to try to bring it back.
Okay.
Thanks to Battlers from the Bush. If anyone's on Facebook, there's a really good Facebook page which I sometimes pilfer from because there's great information that he gets, but there's a good. So thank you. I want to credit him because he is I don't know his name, but he travels around the country catching games, and he's even got his own merch out and stuff like that.
I think it evens out because I think he watches a lot of the BarTV stuff too.
Excellent. Okay, we can just exchange. But no, he had a great write up about it. I think what's great about it is they want to do under 15s, 17s, under 16s females, and men's and women's.
Yeah, okay.
So I think if the men's is a flogging, you've got to put it in perspective a bit and say, well, the women's game might be really close, or the juniors are having a crack. Who cares? So hopefully that gets up. I think it's a beginning of season thing. Can't really recall whether the Kelly Cup is played, but we'll keep an eye on that and keep the news up. And Battles of Bush, DM me, we'll find out. You can get more gossip because he's very good at finding information and writing great reports about games. Josh Addo-Carr. Now, there was NAIDOC celebrations in some competition. There's lots of stuff going on. There's lots of players heading here, there, and everywhere over time to kind of go to a team and visit and that kind of stuff. But I've got to praise Josh Addo-Carr in what must have been his the week before Origin. He ducked up to the Macleay Valley Mustangs for the weekend.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I'm very, sometimes I think, some of these players might drop in, say good day, whatever. Or it's their local area, they're visiting family. Josh is sort of from Sydney. I think he's got relatives up that way. But it was a great get by Macleay Valley, but he did a great job up there. If you look at some of their stuff online, he was promoting he's very good with socials, I think, so he was doing stuff that I'd like to see more of, where he's there on his socials talking up this trip, and there'd be people watching his socials who don't know probably even where Macleay Valley is, and he, it's got sort of giving them a bit of information about what's going on the weekend and that kind of stuff. So good on Josh Addo-Carr for getting up there, good on Macleay Valley, but it was a really, some of the socials, I think he was promoting their next charity event and that kind of stuff. So I think he was really big on okay, I'm here for a reason. I'm not just here to kind of sit there.
I saw something pop on Smithtown Tigers as well. He was up there doing something. So he must have just gone around and...
That's I guess what I'm saying. I've seen other players do it. He's doing it with aplomb because he's really just trying to use his profile to help their profile as best he can, get information out there.
Yeah, cool.
Last week, Proten Cup, the Deniliquin Blue Heelers hosted their first game of footy in 48 years, which is fantastic. The way Proten works, all the clubs meet together at one ground and they kind of move around. Yeah. So this was their first and probably maybe only home game. And what was even better was there was an exhibition game for the Barrel and Rams and Hay played a game on the day. or on the weekend. But the Barellan Rams wore the Deniliquin colours.
Right.
Just for it was just an exhibition game. It was actually their bye week.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I don't know, it might just put some ideas, seed some ideas in some of the young ladies in Deniliquin to go, oh, geez, that looked like a lot of fun. Maybe we could have a crack at that next year. It was
I was
fantastic.
thinking maybe it was a clash of colours, and
Well,
Tweed Seagulls can
That's
take
what
note.
I was thinking of that when you said that, and I thought you could just wear another jersey. I thought, well, they did on the weekend. There was no problems at Deniliquin doing that, and Barellan didn't mind and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, good on Deniliquin. It's amazing to think, like, that's really hard to bring it back a team in 48 years. You know, you're really starting from scratch. Yeah. It's not like when teams have a couple of years off or 5 years off or that kind of stuff. They've done well to get that going. They must be very proud down there to have that day.
Could be a little just off topic, but it could be a good little challenge for next year, 2026. What other defunct clubs could we bring back from the dead or towns? Maybe that's a little subject that can get. I'd love to see. I'd love to see. I know they play in a nines comp in the Tumut Pub Nines, but bring back a Batlow or Adelong. I'd really love to see Holbrook compete, whether it be in the Murray Cup or somehow in the I don't know, in a second division style around the Group 9. But
and even that, when you're talking about Batlow, that was just in a pub comp. But it'd be great if these pub comp teams could throw together a knockout weekend or something.
Yeah.
So it might be that, okay, you've got some defunct clubs, but if you can get some jerseys together and some players together, we'll just, get the club back for one weekend a year or, one serious-ish game a year amongst all the other pub comps and stuff out there. But there's plenty of them. What's that Bathurst team? I know there's plenty of Bathurst teams. There's enough Bathurst teams around. The Bathurst team that was named after a dance.
Okay. I remember you bringing that up.
I was like, maybe they should do a name change. Or they could even, some of these bigger clubs could do that for a day. Just say, almost like Barellan did wearing the jersey, say, we're going to be you could have, I don't know, what's Kerman here, Batlow? I don't know, one of those clubs saying, we're going to be the Batlow team for the day and, just put on a different jersey. A bit like how St George Illawarra wear the Illawarra strip. You just go, we're doing a different colour today. Anyway,
I've just thrown you.
I'm just riffing.
Off
Don't worry. No, it doesn't take much.
Get back on
doesn't take much. The Yass Grey Pies Day, which was the day for just to have some fun and run around and have a crack at playing a bit of a game. For if you're over 35 in Yass, was on last weekend, and it was a cracker of a rip-roaring success. There's some great photos of the day. There's about 40 guys there. I reckon there might have been only 5 heads of hair between them, so everyone looked like they were definitely over 35. I'm not having a crack. I can say that as someone who's got that problem myself. But they also reported, most importantly, there were no injuries on the day, which is really good. But it looked like a great day. Like, just if you go to the website if you're listening, the Yass website. The smiles were around. Like, you just see everyone was just like happy. Like, man, these guys, if Yass didn't organise this, might have been just sitting on the hill that day.
Yep.
Looked like there was a few skill drills, and they said they played the Roos, which I don't in the end. Who would be the Roos down in sort of Canberra
or you got
way?
Queanbeyan Kangaroos. You got
it might have been
Queanbeyan Kangaroos. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Queanbeyan, because I thought on the day they were just going to make a muck around.
It would have been because they played Queanbeyan Kangaroos in first grade.
So they were playing the Roos but I was just confused because when I first heard about it, I thought there wasn't going to be an opposition. They were just going to shirts and no shirts. I don't know. That might look interesting speak for myself.
Very
over 35 in the freezing cold. But anyway, it's a 12-all game. But I think the point was the game wasn't important. It was about getting older guys out there who may have retired years ago or never played and just thought, look, let's have a crack, get moving around, be part of the club. So fantastic. I'm putting in a contender for the highest scoring match of the year.
Okay.
Group 4, Katingal Moonbai, which I had a local.
Yeah.
I had a local tell me that he reckons it's Moonbai.
Okay, there you go.
A man that was born and bred in Tamworth.
I
don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to say Moonbi. Anyway, they defeated Weewar 86-24.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah, so Weewar, I thought the upside for Weewar is 24 points when you go down is if they can just work on their defence. They might need to work on it, but funnily enough, they're both sort of like, it's not like Weewar's a team that's been thrashed all weekend or all year. They had pretty decent for and against kind of record. Katingal had only scored on average 12 points a game up until this game.
Yeah,
so it was just a day for the Roosters. 20 tries scored. I worked out, I was doing all this math in my head. I got ChatGPT involved. It was fantastic. But I think ChatGPT probably knows a little less than me. But they said it would be like a try every 4 sets.
We need the AI version of Geoff.
Yeah, we need a rugby league AI, they're just just a combination of, I don't know, Ray Warren and Phil Gould and, the Cleel brothers and stuff.
Phil Economides.
Yes. Yeah. Laurie Spina.
Yeah.
But they said there would be a try every 4 sets of 6.
Yep.
But I reckon that would be even less. But there was a try scored every, 4 minutes or so.
I think Burley might have cracked 100 against Southport.
Oh, yes, they did too.
About 20 on tries in that one too. But
I think what jumped out at me was that we still scored 24 tries.
Absolutely.
So there would have been a point there. I didn't see where the flow of the points came, but we must have thought at one stage during the game, we're in with a shot here rather than it's just a towel up.
Yeah.
Unless they scored 24 points, 86 points were scored in the first half and then we were scored 24 points up. But anyway, Jack Hughes for Katingal scored 4 tries. There wasn't more than a player didn't score more than 4 tries, which I thought they were looking there going, I wonder if there was like someone scored 6 tries or 8 tries or something like that. But good on entertaining footy up at Group 4. Clayton's Cup, big news. The biggest news of the weekend really is when we're talking about undefeated teams, the Roos are out. Wagga Roos.
Wagga Kangaroos gone.
Yeah, they are defeated. I sort of put them up there as maybe a team that may have hung in there and been undefeated right to the death.
Yep.
But that means remaining, we still have Merimbula Pambula, Woolgoolga's still alive, Coolah, Camden, Griffith, Waratahs, that is, and the Port Sharks. Sorry, I was like Port Hedland.
So Camden Rams, they're the reigning.
Yeah, they are. And some of them, I was looking at, some of them have had washouts and buys and that kind of stuff. So it's been a little bit of a different journey. I think it's Merimbula Pambula have got a buy and there's a washout weekend that they're not playing on. I think it means they've got 4 games left in their season. Okay. So I'm like, there's a lot of toing and froing amongst all this. I'm surprised there's that many still alive with being undefeated kind of thing. So, and also Group 13 are having a get-together. This would be sort of, you've been down that way in the past, haven't you?
Yeah.
But it's I think they're trying to keep the history and heritage and memories alive of Group 13, and it's focusing on the Tumbarumba Greens.
Yeah. It's
a few months ahead. It's on the 8th of November at Tumba Bowling Club, but they're going to look at some of the competitions that Tumba have won over the years. Are pretty outstanding, amazing. Yeah. They've got a storied history. I think I was looking at
a couple of Clayton Cups. Les Cleo was there in the 80s, and even before that, they had some just some really strong bush footy teams. The Gold Spinks is just there's the Wakes. There's heaps of Bergens. There's heaps of famous names down there. It's unfortunately the last 10 or so years, they haven't been as strong or dominant, but it's great. Yeah, a lot of the old people down there keep things going and keep the candle burning for Group 13.
Yeah, and I think considering as like you say, the history in that club and the comp, they could get a good turnout there, and it would be worth going to. And like they've made it a point that it's a Tumba, sort of they're focusing on the Tumba Greens, but it's everyone's welcome. You want to rock up there from old clubs, new clubs, current clubs, whatever, just no club if you just want to go there for a good day.
Yeah.
Good, a bit warmer at that time of year in Tumba. It can get pretty cold there. So that's going to be a great weekend. And lastly, sort of a bit of a Q Corner, Q Cup news. Well, it's got a big news, not Q Cup, Q Corner. The Dalby Diehards, which I was looking at over the past year, have signed Jarrod Wallace, the former Maroon Gold Coast player.
Dalton's the Dolphins.
So he's going to be there for the rest of the year by the looks of it, which I think is, but for the Toowoomba comp, that's a bit of a win. When it comes to even just getting, casual fans might come out and see what Jarrod Wallace has got to do. He's 33 odd years old, but I'd say they're hoping that he'll stick around a bit longer. But for considering he probably could have gone many other places. Good on him heading to Dalby. Good on Dalby making that connection with Jarrod Wallace.
Yeah, well done. Yeah,
that's my around the groups for me.
All right. We'll get into big hits. I just lost my train of thought.
We're still there.
Got a couple of big hits, and I think it's only the second time we say that one player is in the big hits twice this week. So I'll balls that up. But if you watch the big hits or you're listening to the commentary, here are our big hits of the week.
Fantastic.
Right, first up, Ryan James, Shell Harbour Sharks.
They look to batter down the door as Andrews hit. And that's a big tackle from Ryan James, really physical. And the 18-year-old Andrews dumped on his back.
Alicia Hamano, West Tigers.
Current point in time, as that's some great defence. Can she offload? No, McFadden. She was the first try scorer. Just past the 40.
Jai Davis, Maris Brothers and Lismore.
On the NRL, so nice read there from Jai Davis.
Creta Wacker, Albury Thunder Reserve Grade. This is probably one of the hits of the week. Just a great shot and a great name to be in the big hits. Creta Wacker. And Ryan James' second appearance in the big hits of the week.
James flying through, but a great take in the in-goal. Trying to work out who that player was.
They're a big hits of the week. Ryan James also featured in one of the tries of the week. I think he passed the last pass or whatever. So,
Jesus, he had a cracker of a game.
He's had a pretty good game. Look, if you only did 3 things of the game, well, he's been picked up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, according to our tries of the week, big hits of the week, he's had a cracker. He might have been on the bench after that. That'll do me. But I doubt it. He looked like he's having a cracker of a game on the day, so good on him.
All right, we'll move off that and we'll get into fixtures this week. We'll wrap this show up for you. NRRL kicking off this weekend, round 12. A couple of games on Saturday. Kyogle host Evans Head and Casino at home to Lower Clarence. Then on Sunday, Bilambil at home to Mullumbimby. Byron Bay travel up to Coogin. Maris Brothers host Murwillumbah. I think that's the feature match. Tweed Coast at home to Ballina, and Northern United travel to Pigabeen to take on the Tweedhead Seagulls.
Beautiful. And down to Canberra, round 13, we've got Gungahlin hosting Yass. Bell United are playing against Tuggeranong. Woden Valley are up against the Queanbeyan Kangaroos. West Bell are against Queanbeyan Blues on Sunday, with Goulburn City having the bye.
Newcastle, round 13. Lakes host Curry. Northern Hawks are at home to Wyong. I believe that one's at Raymond Terrace. Hold me to that, please don't. Macquarie host Cessnock. Then on Sunday, we have South Newcastle v Central Newcastle. That's the feature match. Maitland West, the entrants have byes.
Okay, now Illawarra round 5 catch-up. I had to double-check I was reading this correctly, but it looks like a lot of teams that played last week each other playing this week.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even pick that up.
Dilla Sala hosting, I think the home grounds might be different. Dilla Sala hosting Corrimal. The Collies are playing Thurul and West are playing Dapto. Also, it's great there's been some dry weather. You forget that we have all these catch-up games.
You should have gone to Illawarra this week because I could have given you the tip to go to Collies.
Yeah.
Stand up the back of the grandstand.
Yeah.
And you get 2 games for the price of one. You can watch Collies take on Thurul, and then you just look over your shoulder and you can watch West playing Dapto right next door.
I've got to do that one day, like games on at the same time in that location, because it's pretty wild. There's got to be nowhere else in Australia for the world where you can do that.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. we're off Group 7, round 7 catch up. Milton Ulladulla there hosting Jamberoo. Shell Harbour take on Gerringong. That will be an absolute belter.
Yeah.
Nowra v Barry as well. And then finally Albion Park v Kiama. It's another tough one.
Yeah.
Stingrays have the bye.
A great round down there.
Yeah.
Now, Knock-On Effect Cup, New South Wales Cup round 19 is on this weekend. The Knights host South Sydney. Newtown are playing Manly at Hanson Park. The Warriors are up against West on Sunday, 9:40am. So get up early and enjoy some early footy. Parramatta play Penrith. Norths are hosting Canterbury. And Sydney are up against St George Illawarra.
Harvey Norman Premiership, round 2. West Tigers, they host Canterbury. Mounties and Cronulla, they play at Canberra GIS Stadium. It's on after the NRLW. Illawarra take on Parramatta. Wentworthville host Newcastle at Ringrose Park. And Central Coast, they travel down to take on St George at Cogra. And Penrith and Souths is the final one.
Fantastic. Now, Jersey Flegg round 19. We've got Friday Arvo footy. Cronulla are hosting Manly. Warriors are playing West on Saturday. Silktars play Canberra at home. Penrith are hosting Penrith. Parramatta are hosting Penrith, not Penrith hosting Penrith. Melbourne are up against Canterbury. Newcastle are hosting Souths, and Sydney are hosting St George Illawarra.
Ron Massey Cup round 15, a full list of fixtures this weekend after a couple of sort of split rounds or bye rounds, whatever you want to call them. St Mary's host Mounties, and Canterbury and Blacktown Workies both play on Saturday. Then on Sunday we have Ryde Eastwood at home to Penrith Brothers, and Wentworthville take on Hills Bulls.
Beautiful. Now, up to Queensland. More footy on this weekend in Queensland after a quiet week. Brisbane round 15. Souths are playing West. Carina are hosting Wynnum. Logan are hosting Redcliffe, with Valleys enjoying the bye.
On the Gold Coast, they've got Friday night footy. Southport host Burleigh. Helensvale are at home to Runaway Bay. That's the feature match. And Currumbin v Tugun, last year's grand finals.
Fantastic. Ipswich round 9. We've got the North Tigers hosting Fassifern. Ipswich up against West End, and Brothers are hosting Redback Plains.
And finally, Sunshine Coast, round 13. Beerwah at home to Caloundra. Noosa host Stanley River. Caboolture take on Maroochydore. And on Sunday, Nambour and Coolum do battle at Coolum. Kawana have the bye. Just quickly too, we don't have many commentator games up the Sunshine Coast, but we're doing a President's Cup game on Saturday. It's the women's game. So
nice.
Yeah, check your local guides. Check BarTV to find out what time that kicks off.
Yeah, whack it on. Like I said, it's usually around that Sunday morning into the middle of the day. There's some great footy on BarTV, and it's usually the time when I'm probably should be doing other things like mowing the lawn, but I'm sitting watching BarTV. So I encourage you to do the same.
Yeah. All right, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. That's all from us. We will catch you next week. And as we say, if you can't get out to a game, well then, subscribe to BarTV, support your local club by becoming a subscriber.
Yeah.
We will catch you next time.
Cheers.